I have 3 cats, but today I'm going to talk about one. So stick around to see her cute little face. I don't know how long she'll want to stay on camera with me, so I'm just going to take as much as I can for right now because she's so cute. Right, Lumi? Lumi? This is my littlest cat, and her name is Lumi. According to my brother who named her, it is short for Illuminati, which I try not to think about. She's just my little Lumi. I love her. Lumi is a long-haired cat. I don't think she's a specific breed because she was a feral cat. So Lumi, ow! Lumi is over 2 years old, and I've had her since she was about 6 weeks. So I've always had a lot of animals, and for the longest time I had 2 Siberian Huskies and 4 cats, and we kind of got them all at the same time, so of course that means they kind of start to pass away at around the same time. And my brother worked for Home Depot, and he would call me and he would say, you know, there's a cat around here that just had kittens, you should come take a look. And I'm like, listen, I've got 4 cats and 2 dogs, I don't need any more animals. And he was like, oh, but they're so cute, you have to come check them out. And I tried to keep ignoring him, and I tried to keep ignoring him. And one day I get a random text message. All it had was a picture of a kitten. I didn't even recognize the number that it came from. And I was like, well, this has to be my brother sending me a picture. So I go over to Home Depot with the cat carrier, you know, because just in case. And he's there, and there's this cute little kitten, and she's long-haired. And interestingly enough, he tells me, this is one of the kittens from the litter, but this is not the one I wanted you to have. And I was like, well, I don't care, I want this one. So I argued with my husband, who, you know, logically said, we don't need any more animals. And I completely agreed with him, but I saw her in the little animal cage and my heart melted, and I was like, I just have to have her. So I took her home, and the first few days were interesting because, again, she was feral and she just popped and hissed, and, you know, she didn't want to be around any of us. But probably like towards the middle of the day after we had her, she started sitting in our lap, and, you know, she just kind of changed. There are quite a few quirky things about Lumi's personality. She's one of the very few female cats I've had. The majority of my other cats have always been male, and especially the 4 that I was referring to before. So she's the first female cat that I've had in a really long time. I don't know how that affects her personality, but I'm sure it must in some way. Lumi doesn't like to drink from water bowls. Lumi likes to have running water. So every morning she tries to get in, she meows and meows and meows at our door until we finally let her in, and we have to give her water through the bathroom faucet. Now, she's also very fickle. She can be incredibly snuggly and affectionate, like by far the most affectionate cat I've ever had. She gives kisses, she loves to snuggle, she'll rub up on your face, but it has to be on her terms. Ow! Yumi! So normally in the morning, when she comes into the room, she'll get her water first, and then she'll come and jump in bed and she'll snuggle with John. She loves to snuggle with John because he has stubble in the morning, and she loves rubbing her face against it. The other thing about her is that she's very vocal. She doesn't just meow, she makes lots of coos and purring and brr, brr. She makes these little chirp sounds. And sometimes she sounds like a squirrel or a bird or something, but she's very vocal. My relationship with Lumi is an interesting one. Like I said before, we had a lot of animals, so getting another cat was just not on our list of things to do. So I often think about, what if I hadn't taken her? What if I hadn't decided to take in this feral cat? And it almost brings tears to my eyes when I think about what I would have missed if I hadn't given her that chance, because she is by far one of the most unique cats I've ever had. As far as Favor's pastimes, like I mentioned before, we'd love to snuggle with her. I'll try to post maybe a picture-in-picture video or some pictures of her snuggling, because it's a sight to behold, I think. So we love doing that with her, but she also fetches, which is kind of interesting. My son had this little Angry Birds pencil eraser pencil topper thing that she totally claimed for herself. So every once in a while you'll catch her running around the house with like a little piggy or an Angry Bird in her mouth, and she will definitely go fetch it and bring it back. It's funny how we end up with all these nicknames for our pets, but of course her name is Lumi. I often call her Numi, or I call her Numi, and I call her my pretty little princess. I call her my favorite, because you're my favorite, Numi. But I think Numi or Numi is the biggest one. You're so precious, my little girl. You're so precious. Meow. That's probably the last you're gonna see of her. Well, that about answers all the questions in the furry friend tag. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe below. And why don't you go ahead and leave me some comments and tell me, what nicknames do you have for your pets?